Hello everyone, Mondavu here, finally back with The Long Dark, which is hilarious at the time of this recording because when Ash Canyon was released, I actually recorded several hours worth of footage just kind of exploring it, and I have still not edited that footage down in order to discuss it. Like, that was, oh gosh, months ago by now. Maybe even a year? I don't know, I'd have to tab out and check. But I wanted to go ahead and start a new survival mode on here just to kind of get my head back in the game a little bit. We might start out at Ash Canyon, even though I've got some of those videos still needing to be worked on. But I wanted to take a moment and appreciate this map right here. This is really nice. I honestly don't remember it doing this before because it has been so long since I've done anything other than like the Archivist challenge or like one of the other challenges. So it's just really kind of neat to see where everything is in relation to everything else without having to run to Google. Granted, knowing me, I'll still probably have to run to Google, but all the same, like, this is nice. I like this. I don't think I've ever been to the Hush River Valley now that I'm thinking about it, not knowingly. Mountain Town, obviously, we've been there. We've been to Mystery Lake, the Forlorn Muskeg. I don't remember if we have or haven't been to the Broken Railroad or not. Pleasant Valley, we've done. Timberwolf Mountain, we've done. In fact, that's where we spawned when I kept dying. I think we've done the Bleak Inlet as well, and I know we've done the Coastal Highway. I don't know about Desolation Point. So really the three locations I've not been to outside of exploring the new region that is Ash Canyon are Ash Canyon, Desolation Point, and Hush River Valley. So I'm not sure where to start. Because on the one hand, I won't know where anything is. But on the other hand, it might be kind of fun to do that again since it's been a long time. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I kind of have a loose idea of stuff available in Ash Canyon, so I'm really tempted to dive in there. But I don't recall the Hush River Valley, and I don't recall Desolation Point. So I think, let's see. I can, like, based on this, I can go pretty much anywhere, and kind of know where I'm going, or at least have a rough idea, provided I can figure out, the north, south, east, west of things. Yeah, like, oh yeah, and the Broken Railroad too. I forgot that was the other one. I could have sworn I'd been to the Broken Railroad though. So like on the one hand, if I start on the Broken Railroad, you can see it down here. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse or not. I don't remember if I have my software set to catch that. But I can just kind of follow that railroad down to the railroad. I'm talking too fast. Down to the Coastal Highway, and pop on over to Desolation Point. And this way I can get two of them. And then the problem becomes Pleasant Valley and Timberwolf Mountain, right? Because I don't fully know my way around these two places. Like, I have a very loose idea of Pleasant Valley because it has one of the best bases in the game. But, getting to the northeast to reach Timberwolf Mountain and then navigating Timberwolf Mountain is the hard part. And then doing that from Mystery Lake because I don't think you can get to Pleasant Valley from the Coastal Highway or the Bleak Inlet. Yeah, actually you can't. You can kind of tell based on, like, if you highlight this, like, what touches and what does not. So, like, it would be neat to, like, kind of go to each one of these, 3 or 4 places to be like, hey, I haven't been here before. But, like, the journey to get there is like, hey, we've seen the Coastal Highway a million times because that's, like, all of Season 1 and then some. We've seen, Mystery Lake a few times because of the Archivist challenge and because of the Hunted challenge. So that's another thing we've seen. Same thing with Pleasant Valley. So it's like, And then the Forlorn Muskeg is, of course, where the Quest for Pants began. But yeah, it's like, if I really knew this map well, I might be like, yeah, let's do it. We'll start in one and just kind of zigzag around until we see them all. But I don't think I'm going to do that. So, Ash Canyon is the newest region. Part of me really still kind of wants to pop into there because it's a nice large region from what I saw in my exploration videos, which I will eventually put up. I forgot about those. And the primary reason I forgot about those, and I'm sorry for the boring visual, you'll just have to sit with it for a minute. Part of the reason I did that is because I had a massive backlog of Green Hell videos that are now finally updated. They're all finally uploaded, and I've recorded more Green Hell. But I wanted a break from Green Hell without going back to the Archivist challenge, so I decided I would go ahead and start working on this. I'm not going to give up on the Archivist challenge, mind you. I'll still finish that one. I wanted something a little different so I wouldn't have to sit there and go, where am I going? What's this thing? Huh? Also, I have a lot to talk about. And I wanted to take a game that I know relatively well so that I wouldn't be constantly going, crap, what's that? Crap, what do I do? Oh, what about this? What about that? And granted, I know Green Hell pretty well, even with the new update, which, again, we'll eventually get to. But, yeah, like, I wanted to dive back into this one because it's been so long since I've touched it. I think I'm going to do... Gosh. Alright, so I would prefer not to start in Ash Canyon. But I know there's things to get up there. I don't know enough about Desolation Point or the Broken Railroad or Hush River Valley. I really don't want to have to go through Mountain Town again either. So, okay, maybe we won't do the Hush River Valley. Or if we start there, we'll just blaze through this and either go right to the Broken Railroad or all the way to Desolation Point. It almost looks like these two don't connect. Or maybe the Bleak Inlet. Gosh. Oh, wait, no, yeah, that's right. We have been to the Bleak Inlet because that's where the Timberwolves were. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. We have been to the Bleak Inlet. Okay, all right. So we will do Ash Canyon since I'm less familiar with that and Timberwolf Mountain. And this way, if I get anywhere familiar, we'll know, oh, hey, it's Pleasant Valley. I just got to figure out my way from here, which can be rough in what I think is arguably one of the largest locations. But yeah, so we'll start off in Ash Canyon and see how things go. I like that they kind of give you the map, like here, or at least a section of the map. I don't know if this is the full map or if it's just like a snippet of the map. But yeah, okay. And here, yeah, you'll notice here, a climber's paradise. So like I'm going to need a climbing rope, obviously. But I know there's a few scattered around. So we'll go ahead and start off with this, as per usual. I'll just call this one YouTube, because I have a lot to talk about, and I would like to do so. So, where to start? Man, I should probably start by grabbing a drink because I can already feel my throat getting a little dry because it's pollen season where I live. So with that on top of COVID, it's like, do you have the plague or do you just have pollen? Like there's a lot of that going around right now. So I'll definitely have to pause at some point just to go and get a drink. Who is that? I'm sure that's an important name. It's not one I know. Oh yay, we're starting off in the oh yay. Well, hey, we got a cave at least, so let's go ahead and check this out first. This way I won't immediately freeze to death. Yeah, I have a lot to talk about. So, from here I'm continuing on from some of my Green Hell videos that I've still not yet, at the time of this recording, uploaded and, or edited and uploaded, because, you know, with the editing software now, I can not only, you know, cut times, but I can do things like add text. And granted, I don't intend for, like, the text flashcard thing that you saw in my Shimmer event video to be a thing. Like, that's not how I plan to edit with the text. But, like, maybe I'll add, like, fun little subtitles here and there. Kind of like, what is the guy? Kind of like Soviet Womble, but, like, obviously not in his style. I want to do it in my own style. More like taking inspiration from it and from other people who do similar things. So let's grab the firewood. Oh, that's right. It's not Green Hell. I got to press the right buttons. And I won't have a jump button. I have to remember that. Okay. So, picking up from videos that, as of this time, I have not yet edited and uploaded, so I apologize if you get this out of order. Then again, you know, with some of my commentary across my channel, some of it's going to be on Minecraft, some of it's going to be on Green Hell, some of it's going to be in the Long Dark. You just never know what you're going to get. So, good luck trying to chronologically find anything in my videos, now that I really think about it. But anyway, so, I, currently have a job at a, just to kind of refresh and update and get my train of thought going good. I have a job at a manufacturing plant. We manufacture fiberglass. Did I hear a bear? I thought I heard a bear. Okay, well, looks like we won't have the bear with me, so that's good. Anyhow, I have a job at a fiberglass manufacturing plant, and the work itself is not difficult. It's not strenuous. It's not really even all that tedious. It's actually kind of interesting. I like the work that I do. It's not like, oh, this is great. It's just, it's kind of interesting because I feel like I'm on that show How It's Made. Because I get to see, you know, part of what it takes to make a fiberglass cable, and just one part of one type of fiberglass cable, because there's multiple types. I've already kind of gone over some of this in Green Hell. So I'm gonna... Oh, that's right. If this is where I think it is, there's usually a wolf lurking around here. Let me peek around the corner. Maybe? I think there's sometimes a wolf lurking around here. Usually when you first spawn in, they leave you alone. Oh, hey, there we go. We'll have to see where that goes. No, if anyone had Discord, that was me. That was me, I promise. It's interesting to see where it goes. I've already gone over some of it in my Green Hell videos, but I'll go over a little bit of it now. Again, just to kind of organize my own thoughts. Ooh, yeah, I'll take that. My step in the process of what I do is they've already taken the fiberglass and covered it in colored Kevlar, and I have to make sure that 12 different colors go in a very specific order, and get strung together so that we can get a good fiberglass ribbon at the end of it. I'm in what's called the ribboning department, so I make fiberglass ribbons. I've also learned recently and low-key experienced it. It's called the hen house, and anybody who knows anything about why that expression exists, you also know why it's called the hen house. It's because people can't shut up, because it's almost always women. I don't know what it is about getting too many women together and us not being able to function. I don't understand it. I don't know why that's a thing. I've never understood why that is. But it's a thing, and like it's unfortunately an actual thing. It's not a sexist thing, not an assumption. No, it's an actual thing. I've worked at enough places to see it for myself many times. So yeah, that's a fun little thing. Let me pick up all the things up here. Oh shush! You don't need to be so tired. We're almost at the top. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to find shelter pretty quick here. I have to go back in the cave, but that won't be enough to keep me safe from critters. Anyhow, so it's called the hen house for a good reason, and you know, it's a whole bunch of middle school BS. I have fortunately been sheltered from it for the most part because of where I work in the department, and the fact that I don't interact with a lot of other people, which is really good. So you know, I personally am not too directly affected by this, but I know that if I stay there, I will be. Also, there is mandatory overtime at this job, which I have no problems with overtime. I don't even have any problems with mandatory overtime as long as it is reasonable. It's not reasonable. It is not. We need to find shelter. Like, we really, really need to find shelter. I don't remember where to go. I'm not even sure where on the map I am. So we're just going to wing it and hope that I can find shelter. And preferably soon. So, yeah. Oh, gosh, I don't even know where to go. Yeah, I know, you're cold. Let's go ahead and check the backpack for... Yeah, let's wear these. No, I wanted to wear them. Can I wear them? That's right, wait, I gotta do it this way. Wear. Okay, that's a little better at least. Still got, like, way too much crud going on. So yeah, mandatory overtime. I don't have a problem with it when it makes sense and when it's reasonable. It's not reasonable where I work. Ooh, is that a cave or is that just a divot? We're gonna head up here. I think that might just be a divot. Pros and cons about the job.
Jesus,
I'll start there.
cold.
Yes, it's cold. Shush. Here's the pros and cons. Pros, work's not difficult. It's not like super easy, mind you, but it's not difficult. It's just there's a lot of steps to it. So the job is not hard. Okay, yeah, good. We'll just chill out in this cave. Yeah, get out of the wind. Ooh, oh, the stone shelf cave. Okay, neat. Hey, heck yeah, I'll take some of this. I'll absolutely take some of that. We'll try to grab all the things while we can see. Yeah, okay, good. Alright. So, let's take a moment to... That's the wrong button. Get a fire started. This should be good because it's against all these stones that are going to hopefully keep it sheltered from the wind. I had 2 accelerators, so we'll just go ahead and use the 1 just to start us off since we've got nothing and I need fire. So let's see, we'll add some coal. There we go. I like coal because of how much longer it lasts. We'll add one of these as well. And we'll just kind of keep an eye on it for now. I have no way to... What do I have? What all do we have? Okay. Antibiotics and bandages are good. Still going to need more of these eventually. These need repairs. These are not good shoes. This is all we have for food. got some decent tools. I can do some repair work, but I don't think I have enough. Yeah, I'd have to tear apart the bandage or something. So, can I, like, prepare some things? Can't I? Tinder plug? Oh, I can do that out of sticks. Yeah, let's do this. Because these are good for, yeah, healing properties, so let's do that. And that's only going to take about 15 minutes. Gets us nice and warm. What else? Is there anything else I can grab? No, besides the tinder plugs, not really. Alright, so I guess we'll stick here for a little while. I know there's still some time to, there's still some daylight out there. Especially up here. I think being higher up gets us a little closer to the sun, which is nice. But yeah. So, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about pros and cons. So, like I said, there's a lot to remember about the job, but the job itself is not difficult. It's not even really all that tedious. My trainer is great. I really like her. She and I actually have plans to maintain the friendship after I leave because, yes, I have turned in my resignation. I am not keeping this job. And I will go into why when I get to the cons. Other pros about the job. Even though the shifts are long, because they're 12-hour shifts, you get 2 20-minute breaks and a 30. So when you space that out right, like about every 3 hours, it breaks up your day very nicely. So, you know, you're not just, you know, you're not on these weird long stretches. Like, the hardest period for me comes after lunch, because you realize I still have half a day left, or, you know, half your shift left, which 6 hours is a long time. But, you know, in comparison to, like if you have an 8-hour shift, you work 4 hours and you have that lunch. Oh, I still got 4 hours. No, add another 2 onto that, and then you'll know how I feel. But yeah, and a lot of people tend to take their breaks at the same time. My trainer likes to take hers early because, you know, that way she can kind of enjoy her time in the quiet, which I get. They do require masks. Like, masks are an absolute requirement. So, you know, reduce the spread. All the break rooms are set up so that you can't sit together, or so that you shouldn't sit together. I can't say, like, literally physically can't. They just have made it very clear and very obvious, hey, you know, this is one person per table, even though a table can normally seat 4. There's also, what else is there? What are the pros? It's an extremely secure building, I'll say that much. You need a badge to get in, you need a badge to get back out. Except for, like, maybe an emergency exit here or there. I can only think of one off the top of my head, but the place is also quite large. So yeah, those are the pros. Now, here are the cons. Here are the cons. The cons are... The biggest con for me is the mandatory overtime, because it does not make sense. And I'll get into that in a minute because there's other cons. The department I work in is the hen house. You know, constant picking at each other, constant middle school BS, you know, who's the clique of the week, that kind of thing. Let's spread rumors and be hateful and mean for no good reason because we never left school for somehow. Like, that's the general mentality of the ribboning department. Supervisors don't give a crap. Like, none of the supervisors give a crap. And the current team lead for ribboning, I actually kind of like. She's nice, she's friendly, she's peppy, but she's also clearly not going to take BS, so I'm hoping she can help make some positive changes over there. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't hold out any hope. And it's not because of her, it's because of how things are done. And once again, apologies for the boring visual. I'm not going outside in this weather with, like, almost nothing. I'm gonna bide my time, get some sleep at the right moment, and then we'll focus on survival. Plus, this way I don't have to worry about having my train of thought, you know, completely interrupted, because, you know, ADD is a thing. So, I like her, but, like, her supervisors don't come into our department hardly ever to check on anyone. There is no communication. None whatsoever, no communication. Bunch of people who are rude and mean for no good reason. Well, okay, I know of one in particular. Others are just kind of, like, they might be, but I haven't actually gotten to know them, so I don't know for sure. It's just what I hear based on people who have been there for a long time. And keep in mind, my trainer has been there for 15 years. She has worked for this company for a very long time. So she's seen it at its peak, and she is seeing it at its fall. And even she is considering now leaving. And that's just been since I've been there, and I've only been there for a month. Other cons. There's apparently an employee handbook somewhere that somewhere at the top says, oh, it's up to things may change based on, admin discretion, which basically means at this place, you guys have to follow the rules, but we don't. When a few people break the rules or exploit loopholes, even when they're caught, it's basically a slap on the wrist. Then they make up some little sob story or whatever, and they get out of it. And then instead of genuinely rectifying the problem, they punish the entire plant. Prime example, a few people, and like most of the problems come from night shift, because the night shift, there's not as many people there, even though there should be, considering it's basically a manufacturing plant. You should technically have the same amount of people, but whatever. So, night shift will get away with a lot of crap. And when those night shift people have their mandatory overtime during the day shift, force of habit will kick in. A bunch of the maintenance crew were caught just sitting out in the parking lot watching YouTube and Netflix on their phones for like hours, as opposed to actually, doing their job. And like, I get it, there might be days where maintenance is slow because the machines are running okay, but still, your job is not to sit around and watch television. That's what you do when you are off the clock. So they were caught, and instead of doing the smart thing, which is to block websites like YouTube and Netflix and Facebook and all of that, they decided, oh, okay, well, you can't have your phones at all. Like, not just these maintenance people, but absolutely nobody. And like, they've already like lowered, apparently prior to my getting there, they'd already cut cell phone service in the building. Like, almost no one gets any service, which if you're a parent, that's a massive problem. And then there's also, they've also lowered the Wi-Fi capabilities. So like, even when you're on break, which would be the only time you should be able to get any kind of anything from the internet, you kind of can't. And like, it's a case of they caught these like 3 people doing this, and they decided to punish hundreds of people for it instead of doing the smart thing. As you can see, common sense is not very prevalent at OFS. And yes, I'm going to say the company's name because I didn't sign an NDA and I don't work for them. I work for Higher Dynamics, which is a temp agency. So, yeah, that's a big problem too, because like, I'm just a single woman, with like no additional responsibilities. At least not in the way other people do. I take care of my parents because they're both handicapped, and so like they need the assist. And of course, I've got my pets that I take care of. But like, if I had a kid, like as bad as it is for me doing this job, I can only imagine how hellish it is for the parents, because you need access to your phone when you have kids in case of an emergency. And here's the thing, like when I was younger, it used to be that if you needed to, have an emergency contact for your emergency contact when you were on the job, you would give like at Starbucks, we would give that store's phone number on our contact list to for people to call if it was needed, if there was an emergency and they needed to contact me, because you couldn't have your cell phone on the floor, which made sense because you're supposed to be serving customers. Manufacturing plant, it makes even more sense that you can't use your cell phone because the machines are dangerous. Like, that kind of a distraction could get you severely injured or killed. That's a liability. So that part I get, but you should be allowed to have it on you in case something happens with your kids. So here's where that's a problem. When these people need to contact like the team leads and the supervisors, they don't answer. Like, they don't answer. And yet you want us to, you want these same people who have kids and need to have their phones on them in case of an emergency regarding their kids to give them your number so they can contact you, so they can contact you so that you can then contact the parents. But you already ignore the people that work under you. What guarantee do these parents have that, say, as horrible as it is, say someone's child dies, or something, and they contact the supervisor just never lets them know. They go home to a dead child. Like, that's unacceptable. Now, granted, that is the most extreme case. Don't get me wrong, it's the most extreme case. That's just how that one is. But like, that's the kind of thing these people are facing. So I can only imagine, what the parents are going through. Because like, I'm the kind of person where if something's going on with one of my cats, which, don't get me wrong, I love my fur babies, but they're not people. I'm like, okay, let me take care of this. For example, Sheba has a surgery schedule because the poor thing has stones in her bladder. I think I covered this in one of my Green Hell videos that hasn't gone up yet, but it's out there now in case this one gets uploaded first. So, like, I've got her surgery scheduled and ready to go, right? Because I jumped on that. And I may have to, do something with my other cat, Asher, because he's losing fur on his back legs for no apparent reason. So I got to get that looked at, too. But that's just me with, like, my pets. Like, what would I do if that was my parents? And for the parents, what would they do if that was their kid? It's horrible. And then here's the thing with the mandatory overtime. This is the biggest con. This is the whole reason I'm leaving. Because I can deal with the BS, because in my area of the ribboning department, I almost never interact with anyone that requires me to deal with the middle school BS. So I'm good. I can do that, and I can mentally entertain myself because I'm a creative person. I like to do that. So I can take care of myself and keep myself entertained and occupied throughout the day while still being productive. Those things I can ignore. I can brush those off. But when it gets to a point that I can't actually function, you've got a problem. So the way that this has been working, let me go ahead and add to the campfire since it's starting to run out. I'm going to need to get at least some sleep. I'll go ahead and put 3. I'm going to get cold. All right, I'm going to go ahead and risk it for the biscuit. There we go. And we'll do, let's see, we will do a sleep. Do a sleepy sleep. Have they gone for that? So we'll go 4 hours. There we go. We'll go 4 hours. Anyhow, so the mandatory overtime is stupid, and here is why. My initial schedule, which I tried to explain in my Green Hell video, and I don't think I did a particularly good job of it. Of course, there's still tons of darkness left. How much more time? 46 minutes. Let's. All right. Let's go ahead and add the sticks. I can always find sticks, so I'm just there. We'll do it like that for now. Yeah, because I'm not walking out in that until the sun is up. So yeah, that's a thing. I'm gonna have to find some water soon too, and a way to carry it. So,